Hello, everybody. It's Tuesday. It's Art Tuesday. Art TherAPPy. We're going to get into some art today. Hello, and this is my muse, my little sweetheart, the pie, the obnoxious treat beggar. Hello, 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 everyone. And happy Tuesdays to y'all. Just gonna give her this, gonna turn on the comments and say hello, and then we're gonna get to work because that's what we do. Right on. Let's highlight everyone in the front row. Gary Hubbs, a previous engagement will prevent him from joining. He has struck the like button vigorously striking. Thomas Christ, Legend of Links, Magical Mods. He's dang it. Once again, my media assets have disappeared. There it is. Right up here is my anything that Thomas posts down there or any other mod posts. That is where you find all that stuff right here. Anyway, Hugh Caldwell, meow to you. Lewis Cook, hello. It's so nice that you've joined our little parties here. Heathen Granny. Here's the linky link of the link tree. Linky link right there. Wah, wah. I see many of you have joined my channel, including people like Doug Kidder. Awesome. Sweet. All right, I'll say hi to the rest of the people as they show up. I am going to let's bring in. I've even got my coffee. My coffee is not still pouring over. Yay. And you want to know why? It's because I actually bought some I bought high quality instant coffee so that my slow ass would not affect my ability to be awake. Woohoo! All right, I am going to bring in my iPad. Her name is Ilya. And as you guys say hello to each other and talk amongst yourselves, we're going to make some fun times. We're going to play with art. You can learn something. You can actually learn something. Or maybe, no claws. Or maybe you'll just be warmly and gently entertained. All right, here we go. I'm in my corner. Hi, I'm in my corner. And so's the pie. Hey, Camp G-May. Holla. G, remember how we talked about doing a field trip? I've got my field trip already. I can send it to you if that's okay, if that's still okay with you. Otherwise, I'll have to change it. No, I cannot do the moonwalk. All right. I'm going to do some of the stuff I can do, though, right here, which is some sweet. First, we're going to put some music on. I've chosen this. It's called Lyran Landscapes. No claws. Then we press play. Just sort of a chunky chunk. I've outlived a lot of people, Heathen Granny, and a lot of people are going to outlive me. It's just how it goes, because I'm probably not going to live to 125 or whatever. God, would you want to? All right, this sounds kind of cool and sweepy. Now we're gonna open up some, I almost always start with Superimpose X. So here's what I was working on last night. Check this out. So I'm just going to go back and show you in photos. So this is what I made last night, this thing, and I made it out of, whoops, not that thing. Yes, this thing. So I made it out of this thing. Yeah. Hey Thomas, how's it go? How are the things going for You Rock tomorrow? Tomorrow is You Rock TV on the Thomas Christ channel. If you have room for stuff, I'll send you something. All right, let's go back to Superimpose. And I'm going to do this again. I'm just going to find, because I think this is really fun, to find one of these mostly black backgrounded. I could even pick one. No. All kinds of things, all kinds of places. I'm going to find one that has a lot of black space that I can pull stuff around. Ooh, here we go. What about this? Ooh, that looks cool. You don't think you have a mods corner? All right, so check this out. So I'm just gonna press add, right? So here we are, we've got this thing. Now, this is not the size I want it to be. So how do we change the size? But we need to change the size in such a way so that it won't leave anything out. So what I do is I shrink my little piece, and then we come over here to layers, canvas size. So now I'm changing the canvas size to a 16:9 so that I'm ready. And then, yeah, I've clawed Leela enough for now. Absolutely. So now we have a new size. So now when you say transform, you can go fit to canvas, and see, now you have a different shape. It's just taken and reshaped your whole thing. And that's when I start to go a little bit crazy with the editor. So I'm using an Apple Pencil right now, and I'll show you also with my mouse. I'm tapping editor, and then we're going to tap brush, and then we're going to, oh nope, we're going to tap distort. Distort is its own menu, and now we're going to go to warp. So we're going to warp, and warping basically means you can just pull any part of something. So what I do is I start pulling everything to the edge, just filling up space so we can have a background that makes some sense. See, look at how fun that is. This time I'm kind of rapidly, if you kind of rapidly grab and spin, it'll basically move in place right there. So I'm going like this in tiny little circles. You give me fever like I've never ever known. Just a moment of loveliness. So the one I did yesterday, I actually pulled some up and some down. Let's pull it so that there's some kind of design here. Let's go. Sweet. Now that looks cool, so I'm gonna press, but we're gonna need, the colors in here are just too crazy. All right, hey Brad Example, what's up? So this time we choose We bring it, we scoot this all the way over and we hit adjust. And strangely, one of my favorite, hey Boomer Bass Meme, what's up? So this range tool is so fun, the color range. So in order to find out what color I'm in, I pull the saturation down. That way you can see different colors disappearing as you go through. Let's get all that red and let's change the red now. Here, changing, now we'll put it back up. So now all your reds are changing to, down here they're like bluish purples, and up here they're all the way up to like orange. I like them with a little purple. And then when moving the light is an amazing way to change things. Hey, Live to Fly channel, what's up? So see, you bring the light, if you bring the light way up, it adds so much detail to these things. So then you just hit done. And now you come back and I do it again. So I'm looking for, once I pull the saturation all the way down, and then I wait for a color to disappear. Ooh, yeah, there we go. Let's disappear these light blues. Now we've changed them a little bit purple, and we'll bring the thing back up. See? It goes all the way pink, all the way blue, all the way green, now all the way back to orange. Where do I like it? I like it all the way orange like this. And now if you pull up the light, see, you'll get so much light. And if you pull down the dark, so I pulled the dark down. You like the purple better? Cool. So now you stop that again. And one time, sometimes it helps if you actually pull, so now I'm going to change that green. So once again, I'm pulling this all the way down till we can get rid of that green. There's that green. Boom. And you could actually make this really wide so it's all the greens. Or you could make it really narrow so it's just that one color of green. I'm just gonna, you see the rainbow road? Nice. All right, so let's start changing. We brought back that green back up. Now we've turned the green a little bit blue, a little purple, a little magenta. Now here it's all the way down. I like the green to be blue. Now let's change the light. Very bright to very dark. I like a little extra brightness because it seems like it adds a lot of cool vibe into it. See? See how different it is from where it used to be? But and now one thing I'm gonna do, swirl, I'm gonna take this and I'm just gonna send that to photos. That way we can just start totally messing with it. And see, this is how I start totally messing with it. Let's use one of these brushes and let's smudge out all the design and leave the colors. Let's make the brush size really huge so it's easy to... Now it's kind of the shapes show. Rainbow Road? What Rainbow Road? Smudgy, 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 smudgy. And then you have this beautiful background landscape with kind of this little black hole bit in the middle. See? No problem. It didn't look terrible. It looks beautiful. So now I'm going to start thinking, what would I like to add? Photos. Let's get in my photos and see what would look cool, what would look fun cut out. Let's check these out. Auto mask. Now this, I love to just do this. I love to just keep auto masking things and throwing them in. Now transform. Where do you think this... So if I turn it upside down, which you can do with your hands like I just did, or you can flip horizontal as I've done. You can flip vertical as I've done. Flip vertical, flip horizontal. Flip it vertical and horizontal. And just kind of put this wild stuff in the middle. Maybe right here where this little like knot is, right? Rain about to pour. Exactly, I did. I saved it. It's like the pie just walked on my swirly painting, totally. All right, so here we go to layers, and let's see if there's a fun way to blend this in. Okay, there's multiply, not very meaningful. Screen, it's okay. Overlay, darken, lighten. Lighten looks kind of cool. Color dodge looks cool. Color burns a little dark. Soft light, hard light. Difference. Difference looks really cool too. Let's leave the difference this time. The Langoliers are coming. That's her name is the pie, Heathen Granny. All right, so I get back in here and then I take not smudge. Whoops, we don't want to smudge, so let's X. Let's go to distort. I'm going to distort that so it fits in the back. See? Now, see how there's a little knot underneath, and I'm just sort of teasing it into the space where that is. Whilst I also, like, let's just tease that out so that it fills more space down here. And then maybe kind of throw that so that it's this way. Wow, yeah, there we go. Now we're bringing back in some of the lines and things that were gone before. Now it looks sort of like there's a bizarre dragon in the middle. So let's say yes to that. I'm going to do something with that. I want to do just a little bit with that red. So let's go back to the editor, to the adjust, to the range. And we're going to, there we go. Let's get rid of some of that green. There we go. I'm just going to desaturate the green. That's all I'm doing. I like it. It just needed desaturation. Coffee, yay! This music is so relaxing. I often listen to this at home. All right, so anybody getting an idea of what it looks like, kind of two sides of something? I'm gonna go in and this looks like something that would look good with a bunch of eyes in it or something. But let's go back into my photos and we'll just try to find something that will look good in there. We could put a cat in there. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not in the mood for this bit. Let's look in stock photos. There we go. Stock photos is easier to find something a certain shape in. Let's look abstract. I'm gonna search for abstract. Ooh, these leaves are sweet. Leaves or flowers or whatever they are. Ooh, there we go. Now we've just got part of that in there. I just tighten up the boundary boxes. Transform, I say, flip that horizontally. Yes, it looks way better over here. There we go, that looks kind of cool. And here, once again, we're going to probably want to mess with the colors. I think a little bigger. There we go. It's just kind of twisted. So now we go back to our editor. We come to our color range. There we go. That red. That red was bothering me. Woo. Let's just bring it back up. There we go. All we needed was a little bit of purple in there. See, now it sort of fits. Now you kind of almost doesn't even need anything. So I'm going to take it, I'm just going to blend it slightly by bringing the opacity down about 30%. So now it sort of sinks into the background. Sometimes you just got to keep throwing things on top until you run out of ideas or till things look good. Like here, this might be fun. You auto mask it, and now you've got all this lattice work. Ooh, nice lattice work. Experimentation, exactly. So now if we come in, we can play around with that adjustment layer. We can maybe find that blue. Let's remove this. There we go. This looks grayed out. Now we want to bring the blue back up. And there it is. Now our blue is purple. Now it's red. Now it's green. Now it's orange. But honestly, I just purpled it a tiny bit. And then I say we'll take that layer, we'll take the blend. Just bring it down a little bit. Then we're going to come back and we're going to grab. So he hit adjust again to go to all the menus. Now I'm going to go to distort and warp once again. I'm just going to bring these out a little bit. Like so that maybe it actually hits stuff in a good spot right there. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Maybe that, I maybe rather see that little bit there, so I'm going to move this out past it. And there we go. Now bring these bits down to the edge right there. Now it looks like it's kind of a lattice work that's sort of starting to fly in. It's looking fun, and you never know what you're exactly trying to, what are we gonna do with it? Like, is the plan to try to turn it into something that is a background for something? Like, would we want to make a background? You know, I noticed something here. Let's go back to this flower, and let's go back to warp, and let's warp the flower out just a teens. There we go. That kind of fills that space just a little bit better. Let's kick it out right there. Woo! See, it's amazing how much you can mess with something and yet still it still looks like what it is. All right. And just like in real live mixed media layer, if you F something up, what you can do is you can in digital work, you can continue to work. You could go back and undo things, but that's not the spirit of mixed media. The spirit of mixed media is more like add something interesting, like this person's face. Oh no, look what I've crashed. Let's bring that back. Let's bring back our stock. Let's go abstract. My iPad is really old, you know? Yes, Lewis, exactly. It's just like acting class. It's yes and. Let's auto mask her. Oh wow, look at that. It didn't take her whole face. This is like transparent and wicked. Oh my gosh. It almost looks perfect right where it is, but let's hit the transform. Maybe bring them up. My iPad is not the same age as me. I'm going to flip this one horizontally. Yes, I like it over there. So you can see as you're messing around, you can see exactly where it starts to just mess around. That red is just a little too red, so we're going to go back to our editing menu and we're going to hit the adjust and we're going to find our range again. We're just going to pull down the saturation. I don't want it to not be red. I just want it to not be so bright. So now we've got this person kind of looking through flowers. This is just quite wild and it's getting really fun. I love looking for design. And one of the things I love about this, ooh, look at, here's another graffiti person. Auto mask. Ooh, yeah, there we go. Now, what I think would be good for this person, I'm going to hit transform, which means then I'm going to drag her over here. Ooh, she looks really good right over the edge of that. Right? But let's see what happens. Now I'm going to bring the blend down, the opacity just a little bit so she kind of sinks in. But let's try dragging her underneath other things. Nah, I like her on top of the flower. Just give her a little bit. So now we've got two faces in here. Kind of a swirly. But you know, let's go all the way back down to the bottom and let's give it a little like sky texture or something, right? Let's go add. Actually, I'll add one of my own photos. I'll add one of my own photos of the sky. There's a beautiful sky. Ooh. That sky is quite lovely. So we'll transform it to fit to canvas. Drag it way down. Oh no, what did I just do? You're gonna hit this back. Thank you so much, Dave. I appreciate your kind words. Now let's play around with this. So I don't want it to look this way actually, and I want it to be all sky. So we're just gonna, instead of taking the trees out, we're just gonna there we go. Now layer, blend, multiply. That looks kind of cool. Screen, no. Overlay. That's not bad. Darken. Ha ha! Graffiti woman is the mother-in-law and one on the right is face palming. Bitch, please! You would love this artwork on one of your guitars? How would you get it on there? Ooh, look at this. So I just noticed something. I like this darken, but let's keep looking. Lighten, no. Color dodge, heck no. Color burn, no. Soft light, no. Hard light, no. Difference, no. Let's go back. Lighten, darken. I like darken. I like it just sucks down into the bit. But one thing I noticed when I got here was, let's go back to editor. Let's get this person's face. Notice how right here at the bottom, let's open it up. See how but I don't want to pull her all the way down to the bottom. So we need to find a way to make this stuff look more interesting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap this, and I'm going to make it canvas size. So did you see what I just did? Let's undo it. Right? As you see, this is scaled to the actual bit. So if I tried to drag or move it down, it would hit the bounding box and it would give this kind of square look. So what we go back and tap it again and hit make canvas size. Now you notice that the bounding box is gigantic. So now we can come back in and take our brush and smudge the edges. See? Watch it. Now it's sort of moving into eternity there. And same with this one. Yep. Now there's no sharp lines at the bottom. Whee. Now I think this needs there needs to be just a little more darkness in the background. How do we get the dark background to be just a little darker? What we might do is get in here, and this is going to be weird. It's going to be hard to see because we are isolating the layer, just a smidge of smudge. Now we hit and then we're going to hit these balance. Now, so our shadows, and it's very, very, it's getting very hard to tell, mid-tone. I'm just changing a bit of the look of it so that everything blends, right? So now if you took and let's hide the other layers. And then hide. See? Now my sky, do you see how the things look changed? See, this is just the sky. But now, since this is all you can see, now we can mess around and let's transform. There, that gives our sky a little bit more vibe. Now we'll show that layer. So now that's our bottom layer is our cool thing. It's imprinted on the sky. I think it looks wicked. Now we'll show that layer. That just sort of brings in sort of a knot. But we could let's leave this hidden for a second. And let's put everything else back on top and see what happens. It may look better without that layer. Yes, ending, right? Ah! Don't let it move. All you need to do, so I moved it on accident. All I need to do is hit this back button right there. No worries. Show that layer. Need some negative space? Yeah, I hear that. That's why one of the reasons I brought in the oops. I just moved it a little tiny bit. Let's go back to editor. All right, we've got all the layers in here. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to put that in my photos. You might be able to get some negative space. Now watch, we'll hop out of superimpose and we'll hop into Procreate. And then I'm going to import this photo. This brand new thing, right? Now you could actually start doing things, you could start making... First thing to do, of course, is put in a new layer so you're not killing anything. It's not destructive. And then we'll create, like, we'll just use some... Let's find some... Not airbrushing exactly, but like watercolor. There we go. And we'll choose one of these light colors in here. We don't want it quite white. Ooh, that's a nice color. So now you could actually just come in. Let's make a little bit a larger watercolor. Let's make it less opaque. And now we're just literally watercoloring along. Can you see? Some of this kind of is just making a little softer of a background. Because we have a paintbrush, we can paint. Like, say you want to make this eye more interesting. We could come in, let's pull the eye color. There we go. And then you could just take the color itself and just add a little white back into it. And then let's choose an inking. Let's ink. We could just take this gel pen. We could just do a gel pen and then you can start messing with the eye. I'm giving her like a light blue rim around the eye. Now I'm going to pull in a white, and I'm just going to come in and I'm going to, just give this little extra. Let's undo that. And how you undo in this app is 2 fingers like this, tap. Undo. Did you see it say undo? Tap, undo. Undo paint stroke. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the opacity way down. Bring your opacity down. Now we're gonna, there we go. Now we see the catch light in her eyes is more caught. And of course, you can do really crazy liquefy stuff in here, right? Let's go to, it's in the adjustments menu, which is second from the left, or third from the left. There's gallery, there's the wrench, there's the adjustments, there's cutting and pasting, and there's transform. So we'll hit down to liquefy, and see, I'm gonna choose like crystals. Let's take a big piece. See if it crystallizes. What is it doing? Take the size down. Ah, I see what's happening. It just lightly crystallizes it. Hello, Forrester the Wolf Official. Alright, so just imagine, say, let's get back in there and do some more liquefying. This time let's not do crystals. We can, here's push. Push does, See? But what we're gonna, let's go back into the original layer and we can have it push. Whoops. Go back in. Liquefy. Now you can push around the background, see? Oh, I think that wants to be higher. It's the same thing you could be doing with your other one, only you're doing it with the whole thing, right? So instead of adjusting one layer in superimpose, I'm adjusting the entire thing here, which changes the vibe a lot. Let's take that, smallen it up. That just kind of gives us a little spot to like maybe take out stuff that looks weird. Like, see this little swirl in here? I don't really love the swirl all that much, so let's go back up to this layer and kind of find the color. Let's find this color. Whoa! Undo. So finding a yellow. Kind of this kind of really pinky yellow. That's a really cool color. Yeah. And then maybe just painting. Let's do an oil paint. And the opacity is low, so bring the opacity up just a smidge. Bring the size down. See? And of course, now let's smudge that. So this is our smudge brush. Let's have it very dry brushed. Bring that size down. Ooh. And then you can take your little eraser. Oops. Ah, wow, that's cool. But I don't want it. Ooh, let's undo that. Back to this. Back to the erase. Oops, let's not erase with that. Whoa, what have I done? That's cool. Basically, we just kind of put a little bit of a smush in there. A Dali-esque vibe. Yes, that's me. I'm a very surrealist person. Now you can see that this paint on top of that leaf is driving me nuts. So I'm going to actually I'm going to opacity down, and we're just going to do a little bit of erasing over it. When it's in full sized, you can't really even see it. Remember, we're still in this layer. Now I'm going to find a color. Let's find one of these colors. Ooh, there's that pink down here. Now let's find our paintbrush. I like our oil paint. That's very nice. Now you can see how mellow it is? You can barely tell, but the thing is you're getting in here And you can start messing with, like, right here where I don't want to see stuff in the background. You can just kind of lightly go over it. Just kind of wee. See? You can barely even see it, but it's totally working. Then of course you can come in and I can add more white to that. And then I can desaturate it, resaturate it, darken it, desaturate it. It's a little different. Yeah, so this is just kind of you can literally just sort of paint something in. There it is, it's painted in. And then you bring in your this is like the crazy part, is look how many insane textures there are. Look at all that. Tessellated, Tarkine, Kurawong, Signet, Diagonal, Grid, Grunge. I like grunge. So noticing all the way to the right. So just take a quick look. Right here is the size of your brush. Right there. And right here is the opacity of your brush. So you can mess around with something. So see, this is a thing. See how the brush is sort of scumbling it a bit? But it's not changing anything underneath because it's not even there. It's not there. It's on top. See? If you just take out this layer, all you'll have is my splishy splashies. I don't know. I didn't really need to do that much. I just kind of needed to create a little bit of more... I just needed a little more light space, a little negative space. Which... Oh, of course. Oh, that one other thing. You can just mess with the entire color balance. Right? Which I didn't need to do. But the curves, the gamma curves. See, there's a little bit more light. Ooh, yeah, I like that. So lighten it in some places and darken it in others. This is very cool. Yeah, I think the size of your brush doesn't matter if your name is Bob Ross. All right. Now we're going to share this. So action menu, which is the wrench. Share. I'm going to share it as a PNG because you can transform the background and stuff like that. So now you'll see just quickly in the library, my library, whoops, wee. So this, it's subtle, but this one is more cohesive. This one is a little more dark. Basically, you've just added a vibe to this. And it's there. All right. Just for fun, we're almost ready to go over to Jade's, but let me do one of my super fun little things where we're going to open up a canvas, a 1080p canvas. And then we're just going to go. We're going to find, there we go. Just going to paint. Woo! Now we're gonna just take this and I'm gonna desaturate it and lighten it. And then we're gonna make the thing bigger and more opaque. Then we're gonna come in, and now I'm gonna change something. I'm gonna take out the bunch of red. Now we're gonna go wee. And here's where you can do crazy fun stuff with Liquify. Watch. I'm gonna go twirl right. Now it's just twirling itself. Twirl left. Twirl right. Twirl left. Twirl right. Twirl left. How fun. Pinch. It pinches it all into a little center. You can see that? It pinches, expand, expands it, crystallizes it, edge, creates an edge. Look at that. This is an amazing little bit. If you want to like draw in your thing, you can draw a shape. And it's created an edge right in here for you. How cool is that? So I just drew a shape. And then push, of course, is just push it wherever you want. That's just like distort. See? Look at that. I just did nothing and I created a little background. And then you could, of course, go in here and change your curves. Make it very dark. There we go. Change it, change it, change it. Now you've got a whole new thing. Now you can start over again with the whole thing right there. And of course I could suck this back into, let's see. Oh yeah, I've got just a couple minutes. I'll do it just for fun and then I'll say goodbye to you with my face. Right. Superimpose. Go back to there. Now come in here and go to photos. Whoa, photos. Hey, what happened to my picture I just did? Whoa. Maybe I didn't put it in. Oh, there we go. I didn't say save image. Haha. Yes, it's like finger painting as a kid, but less messy. A serpent. Exactly. So I could come back in, whoops, wrong app. Come back into Superimpose X, open this, and I could start over again. Start adding pictures, start adding all kinds of crazy stuff. I could start changing the colors. I could cast shadows, I could blend, I can mask, I can filter. Like I could mask out right the center of it. Now you can just put something else in the middle. Whoop. I'll play around with that later. That's gonna be fun, you guys. Let's say goodbye to you with my facey face. Thank you again to Sunshine Archer for facey face. Aha! Wow, that time went by so ridiculously fast. It's crazy. So next up we've got Jade Star. She's gonna be doing a sound pack for Soundbox. The Founders. A Founders pack. Dark Veil by Sonora Cinematic. I love all of the Soundbox. I love Soundbox. It's insane. It's amazing. And then after that, we're going to have Techno Tuesday with Russ 8889 Rhythm Republic Radio. Wah, wah. And tomorrow, of course, I'll be back with Fur and Frets. I'm going to be hopefully playing my guitar. I really am not trying to screw you guys with the guitar thing. It's a me problem. And then afterwards, followed by Jade, and then You Rock TV. If you want to be on You Rock TV, don't forget how to do that. Thomas will tell you. All right. Keep your hands inside the ride, and I will automatically move you over to Jade's. It's been fun. Big love. And all the peace that you can carry, baby.